Orlando, I'd love to start just by saying that you give an incredible performance in this movie, and I'd love to ask kind of about the physicality of it all, just because it seems like such a demanding role to have to play. I mean, the whole point is that this guy's being pushed beyond his limit, and we see you go beyond his limit. What did it kind of look like from your end, both from a physical standpoint to kind of train for this role, and also from like a mental one? Like, was it hard to get into the headspace of this guy when he's going through it?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, it was almost like no acting required because I was hangry and hungry so much the whole time that it was like, it was a lot. Yeah, just, I worked with this great nutritionist in LA who had previously, I'd been told, had worked with Christian Bale on some stuff, and he was very good at what he did. He tiered me down from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day to one to finally I was just eating tuna and cucumber for what felt like weeks on end, and I was, it was. So, I think what the one surprising aspect was actually how much it did affect the old noggin and the intrusive thoughts and the way that the paranoia and all the things that you sort of like imbue and see in boxer. It's sort of the lengths somebody will go to for that second shot and that second chance at a title or in life really. And I think the movie's so much more, but but he's just desperate for that one more shot at the title.
Yeah, totally. And it's kind of tough just to watch a character go through it all because I mean, he's struggling and there's a lot to take in kind of, but I love the journey and I think it turned out so good. John, you're super great in this movie too. I mean, can you tell me a little bit kind of about how you approach this guy? Because he comes off as being so cold and menacing so much of the time, but also he has this way of kind of just like seducing Orlando's character. How did you kind of get into the headspace of this guy for such a chilling performance like that?
Well, there was a well-written script, and I had Orlando right in front of me doing everything he was doing to himself. So, really, sometimes acting is dependent on your partner, and your partner does a lot of your performance. So, he was right there, and the script was really good. And, a lot of these people are failed trainers, failed fighters, or whatever. And there's a lot of these kind of people in sports. There is in all different sports, and that they're kind of parasitical, in a way, and they're there to, help them, give them an advantage, or to lose weight, or to gain weight, or whatever. So it is something that does exist in a lot of different sports, and these people make a living off of someone like Orlando. You know what I mean? So they're almost stuck together. So it was. Katrina was great to work with, but it was right in front of me, and he was working. He put himself through so much that it was you believe
John's
it.
so generous.
Yeah.
John's so generous. He said to me during the filming, he said to me, I see what you're doing. It's beautiful. And remember, it's love. I remember you saying that to me, John. And
Well,
it's all love.
yeah.
John's character was written as a sort of drill sergeant,
Mhm.
right? It was a bit more like a whiplash in tone kind of thing, the way J.K. Simmons was beating up. And John came in and literally everyone on the set just their chins dropped to the floor because he brought like this seduction to the whole piece. He suddenly, Katrina Balfe, who's wonderful, plays my training life and training partner, and he seduces me out it with love
Mhm.
and sees me and sees what the trauma of that character is, because that's what many, as John says, many of these sports personalities and sportsmen, and especially for pugilists, and they are, an interesting group of people, and that's where we got the character from. And he just he sort of brought love to this story, and I think that's what you see through it's sort of almost like a triangle, a love triangle that
Yeah.
becomes kind of toxic in this way. But it was, yeah, thanks. John was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
A scary love
I-
triangle. I can tell
very
where
love
this
a
is coming
scary,
from.
yes, a scary love triangle. You don't want to be in that love triangle.
And
No.
when I say love triangle, I mean like the mental time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally. That kind of leads into what I wanted to ask both of you next, is because this is a fictional story, but like you guys have said, like weight cutting is a real thing. Like this kind of thing happens in real life with sports. So kind of when you're approaching these roles, did you like talk to real boxers and real trainers to kind of make sure you got this right and like really knew what you were doing?
You go
Yeah,
ahead.
John, you go.
I thought it was all in the script. I'm a big sports fan, so I've read a lot of different things about different people and watched documentaries. I didn't actually talk to any particular person this time, but I thought it was so realized, in the dramaturgically. And, I like Sean a lot. I've admired his films, and I like Orlando a lot. And I thought, and Katrina, I thought, wow, it'd be a great combo.
Yeah.
Sure. No, totally.
I mean, I worked with some trainers to get in. I was sort of training for about 5 months. I have the most respect for boxers. It's an art form. It's a true art form, and you watch it as a paying viewer of the from the public. You watch fighting, and it doesn't look very complicated,
Right.
but it
Oh,
it's
yes,
it's
yeah.
it's it's years of dedication. Like these combinations. I mean, I did a couple of rounds. I sparred a little bit, and when you take a punch and then you've got to it's really a really challenging for your head.
Sure.
So I have a whole new respect for fighters. Period. End of story. But I worked with a great trainer in LA, Hoss, who's worked with some fantastic fighters as well. And then I came to the UK and worked with a young guy who Norbert, who's actually a fighter who does mixed martial arts, but obviously knew a lot about boxing. And so there was a handful of people. But I mean, again, I think as John said, it was I love the boxing genre of films, and I think what was so cool was that there was this fresh take on this because it's really we call it the cut because obviously it's about cutting weight and it's not really about the fight. The fight is in the head, right? It all happens up here as Boxer says. And then Boz gets in his head and everyone and in a way all these characters are almost like parts of Boxer's character, they're all like mirrors of him in some way and it feels very kind of almost dreamlike, it's sort of you're not sure what's what, for him.
Totally.
That cut.